All right, classic car lovers, listen up. The Mcfaddin-Ward House is hosting a free rare car showcase, followed by a lecture from the curator at the Henry Ford Museum. Matt Anderson will reveal how Henry Ford and Detroit put America and the world on wheels. He's joining us right now with all of his good information. So what can visitors expect to see later today? Are you bringing some cars in for us?
Yeah, we're going to have a great collection of automobiles there, going back right to the turn of the 20th century, up almost to the present day, and all the kind of Ford greatest hits will be there. A Model T, there's a Mustang, a Thunderbird, you name it. It's going to be a lot of fun.
There's a lot of history that you will be discussing and stuff. What are you looking forward to the most?
Yeah, looking forward to just sharing the story of how the car was turned into basically a plaything for wealthy people. They were very expensive when they were first introduced, into a part of everyday life like they are today. And a lot of that is because of Henry Ford, Ford Motor Company, and the Model T. So we'll get into all of that, the moving assembly line, and how the car was made affordable.
What's the most exciting part for you to explain to people with all of this knowledge?
I love telling the story about how Detroit became the Motor City. You know, a lot of people know it that way around the world, but they ask, why did that happen? What is it about Detroit that made it different from other places in the U.S.? So that's always a favorite part of the story.
Matt, tell me how you guys kind of preserve these cars. How do you make sure they still look the same and make sure they look up to par and everything?
Yeah, at the museum, a lot of the cars we have, we drain the fluids, we put them up on jack stands to get them up off the ground, and then we just kind of keep them inside and out of the weather. And our preference is always to keep the car as it looked when it was being used versus restoring it to look brand new.
What do you look forward to when it comes to people's reaction, or what do you like to see the most when you start, explaining all of this stuff to people?
I love hearing stories from people, because that's a lot of the reason people are in the classic car hobby. You know, they have a car that reminds them of when they were kids or something their parents had. So I'll enjoy hearing those.
And that's happening today, right, at the Mcfaddin-Ward House?
Correct, yes.
Do you know, like, the time and all of that good information?
Car show starts at 4:30, and then the presentation starts at 6:30.
So what's the difference between the car show that'll happen at 4:30 and then the presentation that's happening at 6? Yeah,
car show will be outside the Mcfaddin-Ward House Visitor Center there. Folks are welcome to come along, look at some of those cars, maybe talk to the owners and hear some stories. And then my presentation will be kind of going back in time to talk about the origins of Ford Motor Company and the development of the auto industry in the U.S.
Is there a reason why you chose Beaumont?
It's such a great pleasure to come down here, and of course the spindle-top oil strike is a big part of the automobile's rapid advancement and adoption in the United States, so it's a natural fit.
How many cars are we talking that might be out there for people to see?
I've heard we're going to have in the double digits there, at least 10, maybe a few more, we'll see, but every car there is going to be special.
Gotcha. Any advice for people who plan on attending?
Yeah, come with good questions and bring a camera, because I'm sure it's going to be worth taking pictures.
All right, well, thank you so much for joining us, and good luck on your show and lecture.
Thank you.